live is a pretty tough time, and they definitely, like they've been all season long for us, gave us such a boost, especially when it went into overtime and then double overtime. I told them overtime is our time. And just, can't say enough, just so proud of this group. That it's going to be a heavyweight fight. Both teams, you saw the competitive spirit, the mindset to want to go on to the next round. I thought we came out with a great mindset. We punched first, and then, Alabama, responded with the character that they have. Really no team deserved to lose this game tonight. Both teams were so good. But, I thought, you saw what our seniors did, Shai and Sarah and KK and Allie, and you could go through the list. I thought every player had an impactful moment for us, whether it was on the offensive and defensive end. And now we're excited to be representing both, now us and men's basketball going to the Sweet 16.
At this time, for Sarah and Cheyenne.
Trademark down the end of the season. What were you thinking? What were you guys discussing amongst yourselves? And just what does it mean to kind of come out of this deficit to win in double overtime?
It feels good. It was really a fight. We went double overtime, but we just kept playing for each other the whole game. I know, I think it was like the third and fourth quarter. It was kind of like a little bit tough for us, but we never gave up, and we kept fighting. That's all we did. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Can you talk about your confidence at the free throw line? You were 9 for 9 there today. How much do you pride yourself in that, and how are you able to execute so well down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, they're easy money shots. You got to be able to step up and hit them. We practice free throws all the time, so I knew I could step up with confidence and knock them down. So, yeah.
You've been playing at such a high level recently. It just feels like every single time this team needs a big three, you're hitting one off the dribble, contested. Can you just tell us what that feels like for those of us that haven't experienced playing basketball at such a ridiculous level?
I have a lot of faith. Always, before games, I always pray a lot. And I thank God for this game. It's really a blessing. But my teammates, they always keep telling me, keep shooting, especially Shai. Always tell me to keep shooting and being confident every time. And Coach Brenda, she always tell me to be confident in every shot you're taking. So it's probably confidence, yeah, I would say.
For Shai, you go to the free throw line that last time. It's your last shots here, biggest shots of your career. Is any of that going through your mind?
Not really. I mean, honestly, I just wanted to knock them down. I didn't want to give them any hope. I wanted them to have to make a three if they wanted to send it into another overtime. I didn't want to give them an easy way out.
We played at such a long stretch with 4 fouls. So how much did that weigh on your mind when you were defending and having to be aggressive at times?
Yeah, I was trying to be disciplined. I knew my team needed me to stay in the game. And honestly, it just comes back to all of them having my back. I mean, there was definitely times where I was scrambling and out of rotations, and they all had my back. And I think that just speaks volume about this team of that's just who we are.
Hey, Cheyenne, Rob Knox here from the Next. I have 2 questions. One, can you just describe the impact? Obviously, Coach said everybody made the impact, which was true, but Mir really performed on well, double-digit rebounds for her. That's the first question. And the second question is, at what moment when y'all were down 17, was there a play, a defensive strategy, or anything that adjusted? Because y'all went from 17 down to 9 going into the fourth quarter.
First off, with Mir, that's just who Mir is. She's going to do the little things. She's going to go in and get a rebound if we haven't gotten one. She's going to crash the offensive rebound. She's going to try to guard the best best offensive player. That's just who Mir is, and she's a team player, and I love her every second of it because she makes us better, and it's huge for us. And then I forgot. 17, got it. It wasn't really a specific play. It was a specific timeout. I remember we were just talking about score, stop, score, score, stop, score, get a stop, get it within 10 going to the fourth, and we're right there. And that's exactly what we did, and we executed.
For Shy, a little bit of a follow-up. Obviously, down 17, you were on the bench with 4 fouls. Like, how do you keep yourself up knowing that this could be the end of your career if you guys don't come back and you're down by so much and you can't really help because you're on the bench? Like, how do you keep yourself motivated to keep going and keep faith, basically?
You pour into other people. You pour into your teammates. I know I was frustrated when I got my 4th foul. Pouring it into them really helped me get out of it. And, yeah, and I mean, you just hope that your team can make a run, and that's exactly what they did. But honestly, I kind of knew they would, so.
Jonas Schaefer, Baltimore Banner. I think you played pretty close to every minute in that game. How did you what did you draw from to keep going, and what was it like then to be carried off the floor by your teammates?
I think I really wanted to win, so I was like just trying to play the best that I can, every possession in defense, all that. Just trying to play hard and just work hard. I just wanted to win. That's our mentality. Everybody on the team, we wanted to win, and we just never give up. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you say? What does that mean?
Were you carried off?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh. No, they just did it. I don't know why they do that, but I don't know. But yeah, it felt good. It was helpful. Yes, I was a little bit tired, but it was good. Yeah.
Anything else for Sarah and Shane?
Rob again from the next. For either one of you, obviously as competitors, when you play against another team competing at a high level, you have somebody like Sarah finish with 45 points. In that moment, what was the strategy there against her, or you just said at one point we just going to let her score and then we just kind of focus on everybody else? But I mean, obviously, as a competitor, how special was her performance? So just having to defend and see that the entire game.
I mean, I told her after the game I thought she was phenomenal. I didn't think she needed to shed a single tear. She was excellent, and I think she put everyone on notice of exactly who she is. And obviously, we probably should have done a little bit better, but we contained everybody else, so that was huge. But, I mean, she has no reason to hang her head. She's a phenomenal player and a great person, too.
For both Shai and Sarah, when you're 80 and sitting on your rocking chair, when you think back to this game, what will you be thinking about?
For so long. My back gonna crack and everything.
It was fun. Really fun.
Good.
Even though
classy
it was like tight games and everything, but it was really fun. We had fun, and it's a blessing to be a part of that.
You're so classy.
I think we have time for one more if anybody else has one. If not, we'll let Sarah and Cheyenne get going. And a reminder that 30-minute window in the locker room is open. We have a question for Coach Frese up here.
Copeland, Washington Post. I think I forgot to do that the first time. Just as you guys are going through those overtimes, what is the kind of message that you're kind of preaching to them? I saw you, you're waving to the crowd, and during each timeout, you're kind of giving a message. Was there a theme of what you were saying as you kind of kept going?
Continue to try to instill as much, energy and positivity, confidence. Went in there the first time. Overtime is our time, and I knew they were tired, but just really, needing to dig in even further. I mean, these guys played really, really heavy minutes, and then especially to come from 17 down, what that took to come back into this fold. So, and again, I just can't say enough about our crowd. This is why you try to earn that right to host and have that energy, because we absolutely needed it with both the double overtimes.
Coach Christian Jackson, Black Explosion here. What was your sentiments of the team going into the fourth? You guys had closed the gap a little bit. It was a 9-point game going into the fourth. What would you just tell your team going into the fourth and to close that gap?
A couple things. I'll say, when Shai went out, I thought, even when we went big and we brought Amari in, I thought she did some great things. I got to make sure I mention that. I thought she was really ready and impacted us in a great way. But that fourth quarter, just, again, like just, cutting down those possessions where we needed stops to scores and, just doing it one possession at a time and doing it together. Nobody had to do it on their own. And when you look at the box and you look how it was spread, they really kind of trusted each other on the offensive end as well as on the defensive end.
Alabama did lose 2 starters in that fourth quarter due to fouls, and so how did that change the way you defended Barker and Kakian?
I mean, the foul trouble was huge. They were able to get KK out for us, and once they were in foul trouble, we were able to, dig off of a little bit because they were trying to pick on Sarah, and we were able to, take some of the, the post players when they had to go to 2 bigs and really be able to help. And then, we were trying to double Sarah, number 3. I mean, she just, off of every ball screen. I mean, we were trying to get it out of her hands, but man, what a winner, what a competitor. She did everything she could to will her team to that win. It was an impressive performance.
Max Schaefer, Testudo Times. Coach, you just touched on it a little bit, but can you talk more about what you got from your role players, specifically Mir? I mean, she had I feel like a role player's dream, just like getting every rebound and then guarding so well. Just 78 for Sellers, Schmeichel, and Tabiasu, but the role players did so much. Can you just kind of expand on that?
They really did. I would say these last 2 games for Mir, I mean, defensively, the ability to lock down for us, and she did, even though Sarah had 45 points. I mean, Mir made her work and earn those 45 points. She really had to work for him, and even to the point like Amari stepping out there and making a shot, huge. Sailor making a free throw. Every one of those points chipped away, and just moving through and defensively as well. So it was massive to be able to have those minutes.
Hi, Coach. Ben Messinger, Testudo Times. Ali Kubek was the only player in a double overtime game to score a double-double. She's been awesome in every NCAA tournament game she's played. Can you just talk about her impact in big games in March?
I don't know what it is. I'm here for it. It's been really special to be able to see it from last year to. I just think the body of work for Allie over time, it's like she learns to develop that trust in herself and the confidence. And again, I mean, she was huge. Look at her stat line. I mean, when you talk about 19 and 12, 5 assists as opposed, no turnovers, 49 minutes, I just can't, and banging down low defensively, so many things that I actually had forgotten that she had played that many minutes, and was, when she got tired, I was kind of challenging her, and she was just huge. I just can't say enough.
You sort of mentioned it at the outset, both the men and the women going to the Sweet 16, and it's the first time it's ever actually happened in the same year. Just how special has the last 24 hours been for Maryland basketball?
Look how both teams won, and you look at that's the pride of who we are to represent, our athletic department, our university, our state, on the biggest stage nationally, and two teams that have been really resilient all year. I mean, you look at the men, and you were just hoping it was going to break last night for them, and some of the buzzer beater shots that have gone on with them, and they've stayed the course and stayed resilient. And I'll say the same thing for this group through all the injuries and adversity that we've faced for this group. Could have folded at any point, that stretch of Texas and UCLA and those opponents. And I think that's what's so special is the journey that you get to have with this team, and to be able to watch it kind of unfold tonight.
Coach, you had 2 opportunities to foul up 3. One time it came back to bite you, one time it didn't. Are you not a proponent of that? Do you ever consider that strategy late in the game?
We've considered it. It hasn't really been who we are. So, yeah, I mean, I think you can second guess yourself anytime, with that. But, proud that, worked in our favor.
In the non-championship game, national championship category, where does this rank in your career for wins?
I think, Rose had shared like the last double overtime game was 2008 that I've been involved. Right up there, I guess when you've been in it as long as I have, but this one absolutely, I'm going to remember for a really long time with this group and just everything that they've had to be through this season.
We have more for Coach, get going. Thanks for joining us, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you.
In the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. 15, 20 minutes-ish? Yeah, like, I don't have a timer on it. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We will address questions in the room first and get to Zoom if time allows. Recording this press conference on your cell phone or other cameras is prohibited. And a reminder that the locker room is open for availability. We'll begin now. We have Coach Curry and Sarah Ashley Barker from Alabama. First, a statement from Coach Curry.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotion in our locker room. What Sarah, Ashley, and Aaliyah have given, Zay believed. We're really blessed to have been a part of her journey. And then CB and Gianna, my heart hurts for those 5 kids that have represented the University of Alabama and their families with such amazing grace and hard work and grit and toughness and gratitude. And so it's difficult, I mean, we just wish we had another minute or two. And, Maryland was able to make a play down the stretch and we weren't. So, but I don't think you understand how much I love, and I'm so incredibly proud of that group of people in our locker room and how they've represented all year long and had an amazing season. And I don't want this one day to take away from what they've accomplished during their journey at Alabama, and I love them all very much.
Questions now for Sarah Ashley.
Sarah Ashley, there was a little bit of a delay before those 3 foul shots. What do you sort of have to do to get yourself in the frame of mind with the season on the line? You have to make them all.
Right. The first thing that I did is I walked over to Carly Weathers and I said, pray for me, because that's the Lord is who I look to for my strength, my peace. He upholds me. On my wrist, I write Isaiah 41:10, and it says, I will strengthen you, I will help you, and I will uphold you. And regardless if I would have made all 3 or not all 3, he would have still been my rock, and he still would have held my head high. And I knew that, and that's what Carly's word said during my prayers. It was just, Lord, show her that if she makes these 3, it's your glory. If she misses these 3, that's how her story was written through you, and that's how you wanted it to be. And so that's how I went up, stepping up on every single free throw, was how lucky I am that the Lord has put me in that position to even do that. And that's kind of all that's exactly what I went to, was who my strength is, and that's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Questions for Sarah Ashley? Over here.
Matthew Mason, Crimson White. Sarah Ashley, one of the things that Coach Curry said that she's wanted y'all to do is just leave nothing in the tank. Is that something that you feel like you guys did out there tonight?
I think any team that goes into 2 overtimes has some of our players foul out, people diving on the floor. I think that we left everything that we had out there tonight. I couldn't be more proud of the team that I play with. I love every single one of those people in the locker room, and I kind of told them, after is like, you can't question the why, but what the Lord does promise is that He's going to bring us through it, and He does promise that He writes our story. And for whatever reason, it was Maryland's story to go to the Sweet 16, and props to them because they left their heart out there too, and they gave it their all too. But I am a firm believer that every single person emptied their tank tonight, and that's all you can ask for.
Sarah, 45 points might be the most any opponent has ever scored against Maryland in this building. This is a pretty historic basketball venue. What does it mean to you? I know it's not the result you were hoping for, but what does it mean to you to be able to stand among legends who have played in this building?
Yeah, I think everything. Just the opportunity to be here, just the opportunity to play for Alabama and represent Alabama. 45 points is a lot, but I would have loved to win instead of score 45 points. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not my glory, it's the Lord's. And He puts the super on my natural, and so that's what He did tonight.
Has there Rob Knox from the Next? Can you just describe playing in a game like this? Obviously, I mean, you alluded to a little bit of it as far as leaving the heart out on the floor, but as a competitor, high-level game, both teams making plays, both teams going back and forth, going to overtime, big baskets. Growing up, when you're growing up playing the game, learning the game, is this like the type of game you envision playing at?
Free Tax USA, where federal filing is always free with no games or pricing gimmicks. Because choosing your tax software shouldn't be a guessing game. Companies may claim their federal tax filing is free, that is, minus the hidden fees, high prices, unwanted add-ons. No way. And when you're ready to submit, it's not really free. Not this year, my friend. You have found Free Tax USA. Say goodbye to forced.
For that, I'm very grateful that I'm in this opportunity, and I was able to be a part of such a great game like that. Maryland has such great players. They have a great coach. And their coach said to me in the line, she was like, no team deserved to lose that game just because of how great of a game it was. And I definitely agree with her on that. If you're a women's basketball fan or anybody that loves basketball, I think that every single person could say that was one of the best games they've ever watched.
Sarah Ashley, what will you remember about this team for years to come?
I think I'll remember the relationships that I've built, and that's why I'm so emotional, because it doesn't matter about the wins, the losses, how many points you score, what you get on all SEC teams. It doesn't matter. It's about the people in that locker room that are by your side every single day. And every single one of them has just lifted me to the highest. When I'm down, they pick me up. When someone else is down, I pick them up. And I think that we just have such a bond that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And I'm a firm believer, your teammates are your sisters for the rest of your life. They're my best friends. I love every single one of them. I'm so proud of them. I wish I could have done a little bit more to send us to the Sweet 16 for them, just because I feel like we deserve that. And I just think that just what Coach Christie and her staff has done for me in this program, I'm just so grateful that I've been a part of it, and I couldn't have asked for it to end any other way, just because we stayed together tonight, and that's all we've been trying to do all season. And I love every single person in that locker room, and it's more emotional just that I won't be able to play or be coached by Coach Christie ever again with some of the people in that locker room. So.
just a couple seasons ago, the team was in the NIT, and then now they get to be in the March Madness, and you've been one of the pivotal players that have been able to kind of help this program grow. What does that mean to just represent Alabama and especially see the growth that's happened over the past couple of years?
Obviously, the ones that were there when I first got there, like Hannah Barber, Brittany Davis, like, you've got to give props to them just because of what they did for setting the tone. And when I got there, they were building this program on the way up. And so, and then when they left, it was kind of like, hey, you got to take this and keep going up with it. And I think that that's what we did for the past 2 years when they left. And I think it just means everything because being a Birmingham kid, 45 minutes away from Tuscaloosa, like, to represent Alabama has honestly meant so much to me. I told her in the locker room, I was like, I didn't think I was going to end my career at Alabama because I chose Georgia over Alabama. And I'm like, thank the Lord that I ended up at Alabama to be able to play for Coach Christie for 3 years and be able to just represent the state of Alabama the right way and continue on, how she's building this program the right way because Alabama's not done. I think we're just showing what they're going to continue to do the next couple of years. And I'm just super, super proud of where this program has gone. And props to Coach Christie and just her staff because it's not just the players that just take it that way. She got here and she took over a program that was, pretty bad, not going to lie. And look at it now. And I wish I could have taken her to the Sweet 16.
We head back to the locker room now. Thank you for joining us. If there are questions for Coach Curry.
Coach, obviously Maryland got to host, which meant this was a really loud, hostile environment. What are you kind of trying to do to calm your team down as the lead is slipping a little bit in the second half? And what was it like just for you to coach on the road like this in that NCAA tournament?
It was an incredible environment for women's basketball, but, we've seen it 8 times in the SEC. So, our experience of playing in that league, the best league in the country, we've seen this over and over. We put ourselves in some row positions early in the season and saw it, So I think we were, the crowd was incredible, and it was a great atmosphere. And I have so much respect for how much they support Brenda and her program, but we've seen it so much. It was nothing new.
Hi, Coach. I'm looking at your shot chart here, and it's just layup after layup for extended periods. Did you guys expect to have opportunities like that, in the paint against given the way they were defending you and defending the three-point line?
Obviously did a great job defending. They're a bucket or two ahead of us there at the end. I think when you make the choice to face guard and do some of the things they were doing with Aaliyah to try to slow her down, we felt like we had driving lanes and felt like we could really do some get the ball to the paint. That's what we do, and counter with what they were trying to take away. So we just wish we had another bucket or two. I thought we did a really good job of getting to the free throw line, those 9 missed free throws. Credit those guys. The free throw shooting was pretty even. They just made a few more than we did. So, both teams on the offensive glass, they're just so good. They're so big. They're so physical. They're very similar to who we see in our league. And, we just came up a little bit short.
Can you just share what his I think we saw it out there, but in words, what has Sarah and your senior class meant to your program?
I think I have the words right now. They believed when a lot of people didn't. I think we had been to a couple tournaments. COVID came about, we would have been, and so now, it would be 5 out of 5, and they just have continued the legacy. I think she mentioned Hannah and Brittany and Jasmine and all those kids that have come before, and they're just incredibly special people. Guys, they're everything that's good, and we talk about grit, we talk about love, we talk about gratitude, the classroom, court, and the community. They represent their families in the University of Alabama the way it should be, and I just wish I could have done something a little bit different down the stretch to help us get just one step further, because they truly are, the hardest working group and high character, and I just feel like, I could have done something different to help them down the stretch.
We do have a question in Zoom, so we'll go to that.
Yes, Jaisha Nance from Tide 100.9. Coach, I just want to ask, you've seen Sarah Ashley Barker go through a lot and overcome a lot at Alabama and continuously make history. What kind of legend do you believe she is for this university, as Alabama is known for where legends are made?
Truly is one, you know, and she's such a fearless competitor and an amazing Christian witness example. She's what every little girl should aspire to be in the classroom, court, and community. And I'm incredibly proud that she chose Alabama and for me to be her coach. And I know she's going to have an incredibly bright future ahead, as is Aaliyah and as is Zay. You know, they're projected on the draft boards, Gianna and CB. All five will continue to play, and all four of the five will leave with multiple degrees. Aaliyah's working on her MBA, so it's an incredibly special. They represent everything that a student athlete should. And I do want to thank you, Jai, for covering us all season long. And you too. Thank you for the support and the love of covering us at home.
I don't see any other questions on Zoom, so at this time we'll let Coach Curry get back to her locker room and to her players. Thanks for joining us. Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us.